We got
introduce him.
We got Ty Robinson, the Vanilla Gorilla from Nebraska. Ari, you started to say something, and I'm just like, save it for the show. So go right ahead.
I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, because when you look at other people's hands, you don't like realize like whether they're big or small. But I have the smallest hands that a man could have.
I've
like,
never
without
noticed
it being
that before.
Weird. Put your hand up.
No,
real quick.
I know that.
Okay,
but yes.
Okay.
Now wait. Now let Ty do it.
Now we just do this real quick. He shook my hand. I'm like, yeah, that's an NFL player. So like,
I remember when I first started working at Sports Illustrated, I was covering recruiting, and I did the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. DJ Fluker was going into his senior year of high school, so he's in the game, or he was finishing his senior year high. He's in the game. I shook his hand. I swear his index finger tickled my elbow. It is the largest hand of any human being. But you're up there.
But we're also at the place too where hand size, maybe for quarterbacks, is probably the most important. But like they actually measure that stuff and it matters to them.
Yeah,
like, what's it like to be the best?
What was your favorite measurement you got taken?
I have no idea. I guess I wish my arms were a little bit longer, but
that's the part of this that they used to do the public weigh-in. Like you guys would have to walk out in your underwear in front of like all the reporters and everything. You still have to do it in front of the scouts, right?
Yeah, there was a few scouts back there. They kind of had a little walled-off section.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, no, and it was very efficient. They had like 4 of us in there, and then it was just pop, 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 out.
What's it like to weigh in your underwear in front of a bunch of NFL scouts? Was that the worst part of this, or like
or the best part?
Or the best part? I don't know.
If that's
it seems like the easiest.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah.
How exciting is this process? I mean, you've played against some really good guys in the Big Ten, but to be able to play against this level of talent with a bunch of NFL coaches just standing there and watching.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for this opportunity. I mean, it's just another chance to compete. I love football, so to me, it's just like another week of practice, just going against, some of the better guys in the country at their position.
I mean, I wonder, when you say another week of practice, obviously you take things very seriously when you're in school trying to win a game, whatever you're doing in practice. But for this to be a job interview environment where you're trying to not only, practice well and get better yourself, but, separate yourself in a way that could, impact you pretty profoundly financially. Like, I mean, how do you get into the right mindset of like, hey, I gotta go out there and work?
I mean, you can't really like blow it too much out of proportion. Otherwise you get in your head about it. So to me, like, I'm just going to play the way I know how to play. And that's just how I've been playing the last few years at Nebraska. That's just my brand of football. So, whether these scouts like it or not, then that's up to them. But I know what I could do, so I'm just going to go out there and showcase it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the last few years at Nebraska. Coach Rhule comes and this past year, you guys finally break through, get to a bowl game. Did that feel like a kind of a big monkey off the back when you guys finally hit that 6 win?
I think it was more the fact like, look, guys, it does work. What Coach Rhule is preaching, it does work. His philosophies, his teachings, it does work. And, that was kind of the main thing that first year was like, we just need everyone to buy in. Mm-hmm. And I was very surprised at how many people actually bought in. And just to now, have another year under their belt, go year 2, start the season 5-1. Then you kind of start to lose the pieces a little bit. And I think next year, those pieces they're going to be held on tightly next year. And I think Nebraska's going to be, have a chance.
Is that something like, because they talk about winning being kind of a learned trait. Do you guys feel like you helped lay the foundation and now this group does know how to win games?
Yeah. So like the thing that I've taken away from Coach Rhule the most is winning is really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, beforehand, you're like thinking about like, why are we not winning? And then you really look down at it and it's like, well, you got to do all this hard stuff to win the football game. Yep. So I think the guys know how to do the hard stuff now to win a game. And I think that'll be really great for the guys next year.
Yeah. So I have to ask, but it was kind of like Dylan Raiola mania over there. What was it like to, watch him come into that spot? And for people and the hope to be, rekindled in this kid that had never played before and, watching him in practice, watching him develop this year, like where do you think he is as a leader in terms of Nebraska's future?
Yeah, Dylan's one of the most humble and hardworking guys in the building. I mean, he understood from day one what was expected of him and how much work he was going to have to put in. I mean, that dude was watching film 24/7. And then he didn't, as a young guy, it's hard to like get into that leadership role as a freshman with all of us older guys that, have come back for another year. But what was awesome is that like he didn't want to step on any toes. So I think he was trying to figure out his way on that side of the ball while also like allowing us older guys to still kind of have reign over the team. But he would also come and like ask us or, for advice or kind of have him under our wing just so, he'll be prepared. I mean, he's going to do great next year.
That's probably a bit of a relief though, when you're a freshman and you have all that pressure on you that there's guys like you and Nash that, had been there for a long time that has established that, hey, we're the leaders of this team. And then you could be a sounding board and could give advice. And I would imagine even if somebody came in kind of cocky, they'd meet you and be like, I got a little work to do.
Listen, you can all that stuff, off the field, rah, cool.
Yeah.
When we get on that field, if you're like that, then you can be like that. But if you got to work just like everyone else, then you got to work your way up the chain. And Dylan did that last year. I mean, that dude grinded out each and every game.
I know that, he came in as a really highly rated prospect and all the things that happened to get him there, were highly publicized. But as somebody who was later in your career and already a leader of the team, was it hard to, go into last season with, relying to a certain extent on somebody who hadn't been there? Or like, what's it like, not being him, being everyone else?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's from a defense perspective, it's like, we have our guys over there. Like side of the ball is a little bit older. We'd been, stuck together for a longer time, grew really close with that bond. So, having to rely on him, like we had our faith after watching, spring and summer and, cause he put in those hours, like I said, and he not only like excelled at the work. I mean, the hard stuff, like, the sprints and the stadiums that we ran, like, he put in his time. So like for me, I was like, you know what, I'll ride with this dude because he knows how to. Does
that mean that's how it works in a locker room, right? Like you always say, players aren't stupid. They know who's
got to earn it.
Like I mean, like in a locker room, do you feel like people are keeping? I don't know if scores the right word or tabs, but like are aware of.
People can tell who can work, right?
Yeah, aware.
Like they're aware.
I would say aware. Yeah. Okay, I mean, there's no tabs, but it's like it's more like respect. Like you earn the respect of others. Like I still have to earn the respect of the young guys that come in because they can just they can tell me to F off really if they wanted to. I'm not going to listen to you. So I think by showing them, listen, I'm a grindy motherfucker. I'm gonna This is how I work, and if you respect me, cool. If you don't, then that's your own decision. But our locker room.
But then people respond to people who are like that, right? Like they respond to guys who are going to set the example.
Well, yeah, it goes about how you treat them too, right? Like we're not. I mean, like I was just about to say, the culture in our locker room was like it's never been shaky at all. Like ever since I've been there as a freshman in 2019, like our locker room has always been very tight. Like I'm able to go talk to freshman wide receivers who are from Florida, and I'm from all the way across the country, and like just get to know these guys, or the new running backs, or transfers or something like that. I mean, just how cohesive our locker room was, I think, was a really special thing.
Huel Black Edition, right here, the world's #1 complete nutrition. I love these things. 27 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber in this bottle. And it is the best way to have a complete meal on the go. If you're busy, you don't have time to cook, you don't have time to count your macros, it's all right there. And that's one thing I love about it, because I counted calories for a long time. I still do it in my head. Like when you do it where you actually write it down, if you do that for several years, you'll keep the running total in your head all the time. And so I'm like that with Huel because I know exactly how many calories. There are 400 calories in this bottle. It is a complete meal. And so if I drink this bottle for breakfast, I know it's going to get me to lunch. I know exactly how many calories I'll have had. I know exactly how much protein I'll have consumed. Like it is absolutely perfect. So if you want to get on the Huel train, HUEL.com, Huel.com. Use the code Staples15 for 15% off your first order. There's also a free gift. Huel.com, Staples15 is your code, 15% off. Fuel your day with Huel.
When you go to this next step, you'll be the young guy again. How do you just bring that same mentality, what you just talked about? Is that all you got to do? Just make sure you bring that mentality into the next locker room.
Just grind.
That you got to grind. You got to earn the respect of everyone there. I mean, nothing's given to you. Those guys have been there. You haven't. So I'm, this next step, I'm trying to learn everything I can, trying to figure out, what an NFL locker room is like, understand, what they expect of me and what they need from me type of deal as a young guy.
We were just talking to Smile London from Georgia, and obviously he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagle because he played at Georgia. But Ari asked an interesting question of him. He's like, you realize you could be living in one of like 30 different cities in the next 3 months, and you don't know what that city's going to be like.
Right.
Is it wild for you to think about like all these major American cities, some of which you've probably never been to? Like that could be home for me in 3 months.
Yeah, no, I've talked to my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I got this job interview. I have no idea where I end up. But so I don't have any plans for you right now. Like, I don't really know what to tell you.
How's she taking that?
She's doing good. She's doing good. She's been really supportive about everything.
She's probably got her wish list too.
It's like kind of fun though. Like you should like go. I don't know if you see online, they have like these like randomized wheels, and you can just like type in the things. Do a 32 one and type in like
and
it's like Cleveland, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, and just spin that thing just to get her prepared for it. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we always ask what you want to show teams. I'm interested because it feels like you're going to be a valuable asset to whatever team takes you. What are you looking for in a team?
Just somebody that, is going to pour into me, not only as a player, but as a human. That's my biggest thing, just because that's really why I chose Nebraska, because of how dedicated and how much they really wanted to help me. And I'm a loyal dude at heart. I mean, 6 years at the same place. Like, I'm going to give everything I got back to you at the end of the day.
I wonder in this process, like, with all the personality tests and, you're going to go through all this, but like how you could be like, hey, listen, I was at the same place for 6 years. That used to be a thing that was semi-regular. Now it's like rare. I wonder like how much like that changes like a GM's perspective of like, oh yeah, this guy actually will, go through the tough times and stuff. Cause like, even the first half, even at the first half of your Nebraska career, like losing a bunch of games by one possession.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of when things would probably bubble the most for some people and think, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. For you to illustrate that you've done that, I think is a positive for you.
Yeah, 100%. It's frustrating to like lose those one score games. I mean, I was just talking about it last night. I was like, in a different reality, like we fix one or two mistakes a game. We're freaking 9-3 team every year. Like, with like the minimum. So to like stick around and like figure it out. I also was dedicated and committed to the University of Nebraska. Like I wanted that place. I fell in love with that place during the recruiting process. So I wanted to help make that place better.
How proud are you that you left it better than you found it?
I'm very proud. I'm a proudful guy. It's one of the little marks, one of the little boxes checked off on the list. I mean, next year, 6 wins isn't enough. Like you're supposed to have more than 6 wins. Like we're supposed to be contesting for the Big Ten championship, and we're supposed to be contesting for the CFP. Like, I mean, those are the goals. I think the steps that they're taking there at Nebraska.
So now what you probably haven't realized about yourself yet is that you're one of the rabid Nebraska fans. You're going to be.
Oh yeah,
I am.
You're going to be tweeting in 12 years.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see you on the Husker Online message board. I'm ready.
No, that is not me. I am not a social media guy like that. I am not. I can't tweet about it. I mean, if I got questions, I can go to the right people.
That's true. You can just text them.
Have you ever seen those insurance commercials that say like, I'm becoming my dad? You will be tweeting in 12 years, and you will be
homeowners who are becoming their parents. For former football players who are becoming message board posters. When we see Vanille Gorilla 2024, like we'll know. We'll know what happened.
Keyboard warrior.
I don't think you have to worry about that. It's funny though, because I always wonder when those guys are yelling at me, like, what do you actually look like in person? There's a chance the person on the other end looks like him. And I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
A 1% chance.
Well, it's like that Instagram post, like 1% of the population can bench 225. But what if it's you who benches like 525? Then I'm out of luck.
What is your bench PR? Just out of curiosity, or like, what is the most you've
455.
God,
that's fucking insane.
For one, just for one.
No, I know. I feel like that's bad. Yeah,
really. We're working on Ari's plate math. How many plates is that? What's 455?
No shot. Like I only do plate math at the buffet. I can do that better than this. But I did put up 225 with him. So,
you did.
That's good.
So I'm in the
That's a
1%.
benchmark, right?
You're in the 1%.
So yeah, maybe you can train me for 12 years and I can do 455 one day. And I think I'll stick to this side of the
Just
table.
ask him. We want to get into his squat and his power clean because that's where the real magic
What's the
happens.
squat?
I think the squats the most I've ever done is 6 plates.
On both sides, obviously.
Yes,
so
on each
what's,
side.
So what's that? 6 times? So that's
So
700 pounds.
5 is
654.
495.
Yeah.
So like 5.
600.
And six
Middle
is
fives.
585. Yeah. The bar's bending at that point.
Nash has done 8.
8 plates.
Nash is freakishly strong, and he's consistently
Like
done that.
it's like
This is Nash Hutmacher. This is the polar bear we're talking about.
You know those like freaks that they put on TV at the World.
Oh no, Instagram feed serves those up to me all the time.
Like,
Yeah, the
I saw-
reels, the reels.
I saw somebody
too late at night. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I saw
you watch
somebody
the
do 2
reels of
reps at
people
800
doing this stuff?
pounds.
But like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
But like, what's the thing that where they pick up that ball, and they walk
Oh,
out?
strongest man.
I mean, like
yeah.
that's like, I assume bordering on that.
Nash could do that. Nash is built for that. Nash's dad's built for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Nash's dad's huge.
Yeah, when Nash's football career is done, there's probably another 10 years of World's Strongest Man in him if they still do that. Like him and some dude from Norway.
Yeah,
Like, it's going to be amazing.
no doubt.
Yeah. Well,
Ty, we could keep you all day. Thank you so much. And go kick ass out there.
yeah.
I
You
appreciate it,
You've got a
guys.
few fans rooting for you now. So
I appreciate
thanks
it.
for being here.
We'll
Yeah,
be
thank
on
you.
the Husker Online message board. Be like, did you see Ty today?